Good afternoon, everybody. Wee Paddy from across the shuck, and I have got it's a really exciting video, and my voice is probably not going to portray that in its full potential, but hopefully you'll understand. I've got shingles at the minute. I've got them on my left hand side of my chest. It goes right round to my back, and they are flipping agony. But I've had it for about maybe bad for about 4 or 5 days now, so I'm just in the starting process, so it'll take a few weeks. But I needed to make this video in particular. Well, there's two I want to make because they weren't knife purchases, they were knife gifts, and that's more important. And I've had two, and I got them on the same day, and I've had to choose one over the other, but I think you'll understand, or the person who sent me the other will understand why. Firstly, I got this beautiful case, autumn gold jig bone. I think I don't know what they call it, peach seed. I don't know whether I would or not, but it is an absolutely stunning knife from Case in CV. It's the Sodbuster. It's my first Case Sodbuster, and I absolutely love it. And especially the fact that it's in CV really does appeal to me. Fit and finish is pretty good. It's just pretty good. It's a lovely functioning knife. They don't have a half stop, but the cam tang is as smooth as they come without any oil being added. I will add some, but I don't need to at the moment until I've done the review, because this is the way it came. So Gizmo Car sent me this. If you've been in my channel, Gizmo has been there for years, and he is one of the best commenters on my channel. He tells it like it is. He gives his opinion, but it's not in a rude way. He does it in a really nice way. He gives his opinions, and he gives his advice, and he has given me plenty of advice, and I have taken the majority of it because I trust him. And that's how we build up trust. It's through years of just communicating. Now, I'm the worst communicator in the world. I'm the worst friend you could possibly have, because I can disappear for ages and you'll not hear from me. It's by no means a flaw on your side. It's mine. But Gizmo has stuck with me, and he sent this knife to me as a gift, and I am over the moon because he is genuinely one of my top subscribers in my channel, and has been for quite a while. I'll put all the details of his Instagram and all down for you when I'm doing the review on it, and we'll talk a little bit more about Gizmo and what he gives to the channel. So Gizmo, I really thank you. I've put this off for a reason. I hope you'll understand. Now, the next knife that I'm going to show you is a knife from a company who I've been promoting to you, Who Knives. It's a very proud Scotsman, Scotsman, who is, this is his first venture into knife design and production. He has designed this knife from inception to now. Obviously, there's many iterations when you're doing designs. He has got it made overseas in China, and he has done it all through COVID. You know, he started maybe a wee bit before COVID, but he has done it all through COVID. And look, everybody suffered with COVID, but Carl, God bless his cotton socks, he has stuck with it. He has followed it from beginning to end to get this first knife out. And if this is his first attempt, my goodness, are we going to be lucky knife buyers from around the world, not just UK, because this is a slip joint. But he gave me this as a gift. Look, me and Carl have known each other for a few years. Again, I'm not the best friend you'll ever find on YouTube. I am friendly, but I'm terrible at communication. But we've been in communication, and we've traded. We haven't traded. We've swapped knives back and forward. He got a knife for me, one that I'd wanted, and I had to pay him for it. But we have given each other gifts as well. And I'd given him and I'm doing this because I want this to be completely upfront. I'd give him a gift recently of a knife that I had got. It was a nice knife, but it wasn't one that I was going to use. He had said it, he liked it. So I said, well, I'll send it to you. So I sent it to him, and he said then, this was about halfway through the process, don't worry about buying the knife, Stephen. I'll send you one when they come in. And I thought, that's lovely, because I was going to buy one anyway to support a local man. So that's where it all came from. So he did kindly send this to me. But I'm not even taking this as a knife given for review. This was a friend giving something back after he had received something. So it's a very generous gift, and it's his first knife. And I'm going to do it justice by not giving it just a friend review. I'm going to give it a proper review, as any knife that comes out should be reviewed by anybody. So, look, I don't review bad things or things that I think are bad and then give a negative review. That's not my style. If there's something wrong with it, I'll tell you. If there's not, I'll say I can't find anything. And maybe what I can't find is what other people would be glaring to them. But if I like it, I like it. So that's why I don't have a whole lot of negative reviews on my channel. The knives I picked are because I want them. I wanted this knife anyway, but it was given to me. And I have to make that clear. It was given to me. But I've told you the story, so that's me being completely upfront with this knife. So, without further ado, I'm going to now get into the knife. I showed you that up there because I've been promoting Who Knives and Jack Wolf Knives. They're both new designers. They're both waiting for their first product to come out. Who has just beaten Jack Wolf, who has had a horrendous time over COVID, but who has kept in contact with us all, the same way that Carl done with all the people who had pre-ordered his knives. So I commend them both for being absolutely diligent as knife makers now. They don't make the knives, they design them, but they get them made and they have to go through made. They get them through the process, which is by no means easy. It's something I wouldn't take on. So that's why it really appeals to me that people are brave enough to risk so much money to bring a product out for me. So here we go. I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer to this knife. Let's get it in there. There we go. Now, what do you get when you get this knife? It comes in this box, which is fantastic. It's, it's just a box that's one of them watertight boxes. I don't know how watertight it is, but it's a good solid box. And the knife comes in it. They're all numbered. This first production were all numbered. He got 250 made. And I'm happy to say, not for you, but for him, all 250 have gone now, one day after. He had sold a lot in the pre-order, but what was left has gone within a day of them coming out. That is fantastic for him. So, what do you get when you get this box? I have loaded this up with 3 knives. They're knives you're going to use for comparisons, but if you want to carry 3 knives about to go somewhere, or whatever you want to do, if you go on holiday, you want to throw that in your large suitcase, fantastic. But there's a million other uses for watertight boxes or just capsules that you can put stuff in. So that's the size of it. It comes in that. What else does it come with? It comes with a lovely little silk baggie or eyeglass cleaner, whichever you want to call it. It comes with a beautiful little cleaning cloth with the Who Knives logo on it. I use these for my back pocket now, nearly instead of hankies, because they're so slim. They just go in the back pocket. I wear glasses, so these are so handy. And it also helps me clean the knife if it gets dirty. So you get that. Then you get 4 stickers. You get the black one that was at the top, and then you get two of the white ones and 2 black ones of the Who Knives. And there's a story behind this that I only found out yesterday, which I'll tell in the main review after I have done. And I'm probably going to do, because this is for Carl's sake, I want him to know what other people are going to be thinking of his knife. So I'm going to do a full review, as in I'm going to do a testing. I'll do it live. I'll cut cardboard. I'll cut wood. I'll see how the knife reacts. Then I'll do a sharpening on it. So there's videos to come on this knife, because I think it's worthwhile that if we've got somebody who's going to go out there, risk his money. And let me tell you, and this is another congratulations for Carl, through all of this, his darling wife was having a baby, and he's just become a father for the first time. How much pressure is that? A baby and a knife. Amazing. And I'm sure the baby goes #1. And I wish them all the very best in this great journey they have ahead of them. So, there you are. This is what you get in the box. And this is lovely. This is your little card of specifications. And it's lovely done. This is on there. It's meant to be there. It's not just stained by me. It's a unique number, which is number 174, which is mine. And that's Carl Pearson. That's his signature. But on the back of it, look at this. Everything you need to know about the knife. The blade steel, Bowler M390. The blade finish satin. The blade cutting edge is 2.83. And the mechanism is a double detent. The handle material is grade 5 titanium, TI6A14V. The pocket clip style is deep carry, and it is very deep carry, tip up, right hand carry. Pocket clip material is grade 5 titanium. The liners are grade 5 titanium, and the production is the first run designer Carl D. Pearson. How lovely is that to have? And it's a proper little thick card that you can keep with your knife. This I'm going to put up at the top of it. This is how you can find Carl. He is on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. Get on there and follow him, because there's another knife coming shortly. Different design than this, but another UK friendly. And yes, you've seen a flipper tab. This is UK friendly. Knife to come. And hopefully many more, because this first iteration is gorgeous. So I'm going to put that there so you can go and find them. It tells you how to find them while we're doing the video. You get a lifetime warranty. And there's all the details. You can have a look at that. If you break it, just negligibly, it's not going to fault. But everything else will be covered by Who Knives Design. Fantastic. And there you get that little card there. So that's everything you get before you even get to the knife. And now for the knife. This knife is titanium, M390. It's a flipper. It's a double detent. I don't like double detents. No, let me rephrase that. I didn't like double detents until this knife. And that's the truth. I didn't. Never liked them. They weren't something that appealed to me at all. I've changed my mind. There you go. How many times does that happen in your knife career? Lots, if you're me. So, but it takes somebody to prove me wrong. And Carl has proved me wrong. This knife is just gorgeous. It's really well finished. The titanium is lovely and smooth, but there is a little bit of a texture. Look at that front scale, the show side. You have your pivot, no other screws, a lanyard hole at the back if you're so want a lanyard hole. The blade centering is right up the hey diddle diddle, and that's where it came. Carl's name is on the back. I love that. I think that's a great way to put the name, and it's out of the way, but yet it's truly visible. This is his knife and he wants people to know it, and wouldn't you? Look at this back. Isn't that gorgeous? It's lovely. Is it a big flipper? It's not big. It's not too big. Not by far. It's just, I would call it an average size flipper tab. But this is the bit I like. This scale here, they're both titanium, but this scale is integral with the back spacer. This is all one piece of titanium, and then you have the slab put on top of it. So that's why there's no screws at all on this side. Fantastic. Really clean. On the back, look at that pocket clip. Now, if you're in the UK, these pen style pocket clips are fantastic because they don't attract any attention. And although this is UK legal, our laws over here and in other places really just don't like people who carry knives. So this looks like a pen. It is so deep carry. It's over the top. It can go left or right. But it is just beautiful. I'm saying it can go left or right. Yes, it can. It can go left or right. It's fitted in the inside there. It's lovely and thin. It's titanium. We'll talk about this later. And you've got your hole, and you've your two screws that go from this thin slab of titanium into thick titanium, not just another scale like a lot of knives do. This is going right into a thick, so it doesn't have to be a 3mm screw. It can be a 1mm screw that most of them are. This is going right into a thick bit. Absolutely fantastic. And again, the pivot. I think the pivots are lovely there. So simple. It's a T6 for all the screws, so you don't have to have 3 or 4, you just have the one, and they are good titanium screws. I just put this in now. That is it in there, and that's me turning. There is no turning. I can feel the top of this turning a bit, but there's nothing turning down below, if that makes any sense. So they're a good depth. I don't have any vision of any problems taking them apart numerous times. How does it flick? Absolutely fantastic. Look at that knife. It's a very simple, straightforward design of what I will class now. This is a knife I will use a lot. This is what I would class as a lovely working knife. And the reason I'm going to call it a working knife and not just a showpiece is because its price. This knife is priced at, when you bought it off Carl, pre was £105. I think that is fantastic for titanium and M390. How good is that? Now, I have to test the M390 yet, so we'll talk about that in the next video. But as the fit and finish goes on this, I can find no fault. You would hardly know that as 2 parts there, would you? It is so well done. The blade centering's lovely. I just think it is a stunning little knife. Very basic, but look, the more basic a handle is, full 4 fingers, medium large hand. The nice thing about this, look, this is a double detent. Here's what I sat and done for hours last night until Sally went ballistic. I've never had a knife that does this. I have seen them before, but I never liked double detent, so I never invested in them. Look at that. How fidgety is that? It's gorgeous. And I just want to let you hear, the detent is lovely locking up. Listen to that. Lovely detent. But listen to this detent on the way down. And the nice thing about the double detent on this is that when you break it and it's coming down, it's not coming down hard. It would just break if you broke it when you were using it by something hitting the back of it. It's not coming down hard. You can take it all the way down and it is under control. But listen to this detent down here. How lovely is that? Right at the end, it just sucks it in. It's absolutely fantastic. One of the best fidget knives I have ever had. I just adored it. I sat last night. Well, I'd done it that many times that I had to tighten the pivot before this review because the pivot had come a little bit loose. But this is a screw that's going in there, and I am just literally sitting doing this for hours because it is so flipping good. So when I've finished this video, I'm going to put some Loctite in it and make sure that that rectifies that, because if you keep doing that with any bit of engineering and keep flicking it, bashing it into the end, your pivot is going to run a bit loose. So it will need a bit of Loctite on it. So that will be done tonight, and I'll leave it overnight, let it set. And please remember, if you're Loctite in any screws, you have to leave them overnight and not touch them and give them a chance to go off and settle. So I'll do that tonight, and then I'm going to do my cutting tests, my wood tests, my hitting on wood tests. I want to see how the edge is. Does it come sharp? This is my medium. I use this just receipt paper. It is absolutely razor sharp. One of the sharpest knives I've had come out of a box. It is gorgeous. I'll say that word probably another few times. But let's get down to the likes and don't likes. The likes, I think it is simplicity itself. If you want to get, look, these titanium scales are just, if you want to do something to them, like anodize them a different color or whatever, they are perfect for that. I would probably get the front anodized and leave the back the way it is for now. Now, he will order another batch of these if he gets enough people interested, and so far he seems to be getting an awful lot of people interested, and I'm hoping after some of the reviews come up he'll get more orders. But he has another design that's already up and running and ready to come. It's just waiting for the slow boat from China. So, first little niggle I'm going to say is the pocket clip. Although it is fantastic in looks, it has one little tiny flaw, is that now it is captive behind here, so it's not going to come off or wiggle loose. But because it's so thin, it moves, and you can see the little line that's already, because last night I just had it in my hand, so when it does move back and forward, so you're going to get a line underneath that. The good thing is they're all going to have that. But I would say if he's going to do this again, I would make this a little bit thicker. It doesn't need to come up any higher, because trust me, this, you don't feel this. The way this is designed, you don't feel it in your hand. But I think maybe a little bit thicker to stop that happening. Or another way. I don't know, but that's not my decision. I'm just telling you how it is. It is loose there, but it's not going to come up away from here, if that makes any sense. The other thing that I'm not over keen on is the screw in the back here. You can see it's close to the blade. Now, that's making it look an awful lot closer than what it is. But if this got loose, I would be frightened if the blade got over and maybe hitting that screw. It needs to be, let me just see. The screw sits out. Oh, this is really bad for light. Let me just get it. I want to get, there you are. It's missing it by a fair bit. But this screw needs to be seated in deeper. So I think in his next production run, I would ask for that to be in deeper, because if somebody who's not a knife person buys this knife and flicks it, gets looser and looser, and they don't know to tighten the pivot, you know, until it happens. But you don't want them chipping their blade or anything like that. So that would be the first thing that I say has to change. And it's just on that. I love the clip. I love the shape of it. It just needs to be a bit more secure so that it doesn't scratch the titanium there. Now, what else can I tell you is wrong with this knife? Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I can't find anything else wrong. That is my problem with this knife. It's just dead simple. He has made this, he could lighten it, but it'll probably cost more money to get lightning holes put in there. It doesn't need it. It really, really doesn't need it. What weight is it? I don't do this an awful lot, but I'll do it with these, or with this knife, because it is just a new, I don't know, I didn't notice the weight on that other, by the way, but, so let's see what weight it is. It is 3.6 ounces, which is a little bit heavy for the size of a knife, but let's be honest. Look, if you feel that badly and you're starting to walk around in circles, eat more. This is absolutely fine. It's a good, solid work knife. Now, the blade. I love this blade. It's just a simple drop point. It's nearly a spear, but it is a drop point with a flat grind, which is high going up this slim blade, but it is up high, incredibly sharp. Is it incredibly thin behind the edge? No, it's not incredibly thin, but it is absolutely thin enough. And I'm not going to measure it because it would mean nothing to me. You've seen how it cuts. It's absolutely fine. I'll put it through cardboard. We'll test that. I'll go through wood. We'll test that and see what it does. I have no issues at all with this, how thin it is. It is absolutely, look, it's thin enough. It'll cut you. That's what a knife's got to do. It is lovely. It's about 2.5 mil across the back. It's just a very simple plain knife that is not being charged the earth for. Carl couldn't have made any money on this. He couldn't have. I hope in the future he does, because this is a fantastic price for a knife of this. And let me just show you some of the comparisons I have of knives with that simple. Now, I have no other slip joints that are that good in titanium and M390. Here's one that's been in my collection for a long time. This is a Kaiser. It's titanium, it's M390. When this came out, it was about £200. Now, that was a few years ago, because M390 was just coming about then. But this had wacky little things about it that were different. Great little knife. Great little knife. But it was about $200, I should say. Or 200, yeah, about £200 over here, about probably a wee bit less in the States. Here's another knife that I said I wasn't going to use again. my mate has bought and paid for this. I'm going up home next week and he will get it. But there's a Chris Reeve knife, titanium S35 VN. More superior, more blade length. Has it got the precision of this? No. But is it it's 3 times less in price than this. Not everybody is going to want one of these. I do. I think they're smashing. I think it's absolutely lovely. But I am in the minority, and I know that because a lot of people who are knife lovers and knife collectors will never go to this price. But what I'm telling you is you can get a knife that's better blade material, the same handle material. It's more fidget friendly. That is by no means a fidget knife. This is not as good as a Chris Reeve. But let me tell you, it's not 3 times the price less than. And that's a true fact. This is a fantastic option if you don't want to spend 350, 105. Well, you know, that is just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Now, I said it's a slip joint, double detent. Why am I not worried? What happens if this happens? Do you get cut? No. Carl cleverly designed it that this at the back has jimping. That's your flipper. If you can see, there's a slight curve on that. So when I put my hand up in here, and if this gets hit, it will nip my finger, but it won't cut me. I'm leaning against that. I just want you to see. It will maybe nip my finger, but it won't cut me. So it's one of the safest slip joints you're going to get. And this year, I have been concentrating, as you know, on British knife makers and buying their knives. Mostly slip joints, but this is a slip joint. It's just a modern version. I have my Ashley Harrison custom. Again, about the same price as this. And that's what I'm enjoying about the British. This one's a wee bit dearer again. This is Taylor's Eyewitness, but it has fancier materials. These are all handmade, right? Handmade. And there's an older one that I have, which is a Michael May, but I couldn't guarantee the workmanship that's coming from Michael at the minute, sadly. He makes a lovely knife, but he can be a bit lapsed. These two are absolutely amazing. This is absolutely good. And I don't mean to knock Michael, but it's just experience. It's, you know, that's all I've got. I can only go on experience and tell you the truth. So that's what I've been concentrating on this year. But I haven't been letting slip joints go because I'm only collecting traditional. Here's the Three Rivers, which I've just got. Another knife that's being sold for a reasonable price. Beautiful cutter, beautiful slicer. Is this as good? Yeah, I mean, it's just high quality. That's all it is, complete high quality. This is made in America, and it's not that expensive if you buy them, you know, from the shop. More expensive than this, but this is not very more. Well, it is actually. I'm saying that, and I'd say, yeah, it is quite a bit more expensive. But again, I do collect slip joints of other brands as well. This is Lion Steel, and you know how many they've got out. This is the modern slip joints. This has got M390, Cocobolo scales. But again, it's about 1.5 times the price to get this, and probably 2 times the price when you buy it over here in the UK. So what I'm saying in conclusion to this first part of this knife is, apart from the clip, them 2 little things with a clip, I have nothing to complain about this knife. That show side is completely clean. On the back side, you have the beautiful shield there with the head, and it's a numbered knife, and mine is 174, number 174. That is it, apart from Carl's name on the back. And he has every right to put his name to that knife because that is stunning. Thoroughly enjoying it so far. I'm going to Loctite it and test it in the next couple of days, depending on how my shingles is giving me a little break to do things. So from a really pleased for my friend, that is an amazing first knife, Carl. That is an amazing knife, full stop. Thank you so much for the gift of this knife. I will cherish it. I am looking forward to your next knife coming out so much. I'll do a full testing because I know that's what you want. I'll do the testing sometime next week and I'll get it up there. And then after that, we'll do a sharpening of it so that when I finish completely with this, it will be the full article that has been tested and used by a human or me. Take care, everybody. Paddy's away for a cup of tea. Go check him out on all these 3 outlets. Oliver,